What's up, world? Nah, I don't hate you. What is life? We all black brothers. Is it really worth it? Everything we do, out here hustling. Still won't really give us a job. It ain't no excuse. You ain't my enemy. What kind of jobs you give us? Fast food? A grown man can't pay his bills. Mama, don't cry. Even though this world is hard, they took my people from Africa and gave us a God. They told us Jesus was white and he had blue eyes. Now you devils look concerned when we find out you lie. Animosity from your race when you look at me, screaming what you niggas want. Y'all are ready free. Are we really free? That's what they want us to think. We be slaves again, just a minute we blink. I can't say into your bullshit, I follow my heart and my prophecies to keep my race from falling apart. Nothing's as hard as it seems, long as we move with precision. I hope you find it in your heart just to make your decision. It ain't no secret, these motherfuckers filling the jails, locking every drug dealer that they catch in their hell. But we can't see the big picture cause it's all a plot. Too busy trying to live the same kind of life that they got.
Yo, shalom, shalom. This is your boy, Masha Allah, Ariyah, Allah Wanawa. And of course I want to give our praises to the Most High, Allah Wanawa Yahweh and his holy son, Yashanawa Yahweh Shai. The title speaks for itself, man. It's called Murdering These Homo Christian Heresies, No Holds Barred, Constructive Racism. You know what drove me to do this particular video, man, is pretty much I bumped into a video that was posted by some cat. It's like 7 hours and 41 minutes, and these Christians, these cretins, is trying to do a video. It's trying to analyze the so-called faults and errors of priest Eleazar Bun Lawyer, aka the Gorilla Hebrew of the Sakari camp. And I didn't watch all 7 minutes of 7 hours and 41 minutes of the video because I would get completely pissed off, man, and I'd probably get beside myself. You know, and besides, Christ did say in St. Luke chapter 21, verse 19, it says, he says that in your patience you possess your souls. So I want to make this as long as I can, man. This is live, but I'm pretty much doing it by myself. I don't care about how many views I get. I don't care about I don't care if I get a chat or not. It's not about that. You heard me? Well, before I go any further, I'm not representing any camp. You dig? And I am most I wasn't trying to start my own platform called BBS. You heard me? Which stands for Bayatan Broadcast Station. You know, similar to CBS, which stands for Columbia Broadcast Station, but this is different. So most I will not be able to establish my own platform soon. You heard me? That's strictly in circles of the Hebrew Israelites. Very exclusive to the Hebrew Israelites. But I'm gonna cut right to the chase, man. When you're talking about Christians, bro. For one, when you think about the word Christian is a derogatory name. You heard me? Christian is a derogatory name. It's a derogatory term. It's a proverb and a byword. The same proverb and byword that you encounter when you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. You heard me what it says? You will be in astonishment. A proverb and a byword. A proverb and a byword is equivalent with the word jib or gib, which is spelled Gibe. And it's also equivalent with the word taunt. You understand? Taunt. It's also equivalent with the word reproach. It's also equivalent with the word not necessarily rebuke, but what word I'm looking for? Contempt or scorn. Matter of fact, I proved way too many times that the word Christian itself, uh, the word Christian in the Swiss French language is Christian, and it's spelled Crestin. The first five letters, you understand, just like the Crest toothpaste, but it's pronounced Christian. Sounds similar to Christian, but the phonetic sounds is slightly different. Um, Basically, um, that word itself, the Swiss French word of Christian, is inspired by the Greek word Cretan or Cretan, which is spelled Cretin, and it means what? It means a deformed idiot. You understand? Or a fool. Pretty much anything embodies a person who is willing to who is willful to be very sub intelligent. You understand? To be subconscious. You know, to be under the platform, to be under uh, the radar of wisdom. You heard me? So once again, when we're talking about Christianity, excuse me, uh, lost my mic there, but when you're talking about Christianity, um, what you gotta understand is once again, Christianity is equivalent with the word stupid. Is equivalent with the word like if I call somebody a dumbass, what's the difference between that word and a Christian? They both mean the same thing. You understand? They both have a vulgar and a negative connotation. Now they would tell you that the word Christian means to be Christ-like. Well, the problem is Christ didn't speak Greek when he was brought upon this world. You understand? He wasn't speaking he wasn't speaking Greek. He was speaking Hebrew. As a matter of fact, the guy by the name of Jeff Benner did a 6-part series, and I remember a brother by the name of Extra Real. Me and was real tight, you know, but of course, unfortunately, we're not right now. We're not anymore. But he the one that showed me a video. It was, I think it's called the Shemitic Origins, the Shemitic Hebrew Origins of the New Testament. I think that's what it's called, and it's in my original Facebook account. As I see, I got a, I got a whatchamajigam. I got a notification. I'm pretty sure it's from that idiot, Pastor Donnell Johnson. And I would prove to that fool that he's a false prophet, because the truth of the matter is, all the great prophets in the Bible never really proclaimed himself to be a prophet. The only guy that called himself a prophet who was a cat who deceived Josiah in the book of First Kings chapter 13. And that false prophet who told Josiah, who was a real prophet, who never bragged about being a prophet, who never even remotely acknowledged himself as a prophet, was deceived and was eaten by lions. He was eaten alive by lions, by the wild beasts of the field. Because listen, he hearkened to the voice of a false prophet. The I mean, look it up. Look up Moses. You know, look up Isaiah. Uh, look up Habakkuk. Look up Hosea. Look up these prophets. These guys never called themselves a prophet, because that would be like, as we say in New Orleans, stunting. As what everybody else says, showing off. You know, boasting. Uh, you know, becoming inflated with pride. You understand? And that is unfortunate. You know, because unfortunately, yes, some Hebrew Israelites doing that, but I'm not going to really get into that, because my attack and my beef toward these Christians. Now, I'm really upset because I think the James White situation has made Christians get real big headed, and One thing, Christians are some very, very prideful people, and because they're so much encompassed and capitulated by pride, they become very contentious, and end up getting the ass whooped, like the way Captain Tazaria from ISRAELITES bust Vocab Malone's ass, like the way Brother Raka have bust James White ass in a redemption battle, because he indeed redeemed himself. And I do agree with Mighty Hebrew, even though that we different in doctrine. He doesn't subscribe to the New Testament, while I do, as well as I subscribe to the Old Testament. Um, but the brother is intelligent and definitely a wizard. Nonetheless, what I mean by wizard, people can understand something. There's two different connotations of every word. Now, the wizard that that we are accustomed to today, we are accustomed to the word wizard being equivalent with the word sorcery, which deals with witchcraft. But the truth of the matter is, the indigenous definition of a wizard is a person that's wise, a person that's a sage, a philosopher. You understand? So he's a wizard in that regard because the guy does have wisdom. Matter of fact, let me get that for you. Let me get that for you. You heard me? I'm gonna go to Google right quick. Bear with me for a second. Wait. All right. Um, if you go to Google.com and you go to you type in wizard definition or define wizard, it does say as a man who has magical powers, especially in legends and fairy tales, necromancer, enchanter, mage, magus, warlock, sorcerer. But then there's another definition of wizard that isn't so vulgar and frightening. You understand? And it means genius, expert, master, guru, wonderful, excellent. And it says in the Middle English language, um, in the Middle English language, the word wizard means philosopher or sage, and it says that it comes from the word wise. You understand? When you have King Solomon says, "In much wisdom is much grief." You know, he who increases knowledge increases sorrow. I think there's Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 18, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so that's what we got to understand. Um, so by no means that I'm calling this brother a sorcerer when I say that. So being very careful with my words. But I'm a Christian and Hebrew Israelite gospel discussion group, man. And my advice to y'all is to depart yourselves from that page, because it's doing y'all no good. You got idiots like Faithful to God. I think Faithful to God is the one that he said that he's a Puerto Rican, but I think he's a straight up white boy. He's a white boy. I mean the spirit bears witness. The truth is not in this cat, you know. And y'all Christians, man, I'm telling y'all, I'm coming with source after source after source, and this is gonna be the death of y'all. Believe that, y'all. It's gonna be the death of y'all. You heard me? You know this ain't no threat. Yeah, I ain't talking about me killing. I ain't talking about me taking y'all physically. I'm talking about academically, scholarly. Is kill time, man. It's kill time. Y'all getting way too fucking arrogant. Way too fucking arrogant. You understand? That James White situation, let it ring over y'all heads while y'all watching Reform Thug Life or something like that. Y'all getting way too arrogant. Now I believe the brother Wakar when he said that he had a 16 to 18-hour flight, was messed him up a little bit. And you can tell that the dude was a little bit befuddled. You understand? Bewildered. You know. And I was disappointed with his performance because I've been in the truth since March 28th, 2008. That's the day before my birthday. I'm born on March 29th, 1985, so you know I'm 31 years old. You understand? But I was born in the truth in March 28th, 2008. Matter of fact, I was born into the truth while I was working at the church. I was working at a church in South Dallas as, you heard me, not a secretary, but administrative assistant. You understand? I worked as an administrative assistant. You understand? I worked as an administrative assistant, and I came and I came into the knowledge of the truth. You understand? While I was working at a Christian church. Tell me how ironic that is. You understand me? Um, I see I see the brother Moray Yeshai Israel. Shout out to that brother. Um, he tagged me and tagged a brother named Jalon Purchase, and he says Masha Allah Celestial Surges Al Nawa. That's my second account. The reason why I created that account, not that it's relevant, you know. The reason I created that account because I was blocked for a day on my first account because I was speaking against homosexuality or something like that, and I said all cool niggas gonna be put to death or something like that. The brother says I read the entire post before I commented. As we can see, our friend Jamie Saunders did not. The person commented and said only the first was watched, yet stated I was reaching and that one disagrees with the assessment and conclusion. How can you disagree with the conclusion when you only heard the first part? And he's talking about some cat named some white devil named Jamie Saunders. You heard me? Um, I think this is the dude that's married to a black woman, if I'm not mistaken. Is he? Is he married to a black woman? Probably somebody. I think it's the Shane dude that's married to a black woman. But anyway, this is from Hebrew Israelite. This is from Hebrew Israelite Christian and Islam gospel discussion group, and basically, man, what I did was what I did was I just I didn't put my opinion forth. You know, I put forth truth. I mean, that's just what I do. You know, there's some guy. He has an Arab name. Some people speculate that he's with this Truth After Knowledge group. Um, the Truth After Knowledge group is basically a bunch of Arabic Christians who have an unhealthy obsession with Hebrew Israelites. It's almost homosexual predicated, for real. You know, and what angers me is that these guys are Arabs. You understand? I don't know the Ishmael, Esau, they one of them. But we know that they're not Hebrew Israelites. But yet they talk as if they're the authority of the scholarship that encircles the Bible. And that pisses me the fuck off because for one they don't meet the racial criteria, and I keep telling brothers that on this Christian and Hebrew Israelite gospel discussion group, in order for you to receive the sermon that's spoken about in Hebrews chapter 5 verse 14, you have to meet the racial and genetic criteria. There is no doubt about that. You have to meet the racial and genetic motherfucking criteria. Okay? I mean, saying, man, he's talking about the Bible and he's saying fuck shit. Okay, then let me cut you right quick. And I learned this from GMS of all camps. Not that I'm taking the time to talk about them, but I learned. I don't think it was actually GMS. I think it was actually from the Lions of Israel. As a matter of fact, priest Bun Lawyer, may the brother rest in peace. Lions of Israel is actually a camp that's headed by the great priest Danyala. You hear me? Not Bun Lawyer, priest Danyala, who goes by the name of Daniel Benjamin. If you don't mind me saying his name like that on Facebook, he's the Michael Jordan of the scholarship that circles King James. How he was a black man, how he wasn't a homosexual, and things like that. He's the MJ of that knowledge, hands down. I listen to nobody that's that fluent, that's that rich, in storing information, with such recall, out the jump about King James. Um, Once again, this is in 2008. I think the brother died in 2011. I'm talking about priest, my lawyer. The brother said, The brother said that the word fuck comes from the 1600s, and it was of the Germanic dialect. It was of the Germanic language, the language of the Germans. It means to strike, and he's right. And the word for fuck in the Germanic language is Faka, which is spelled Focka. And as a matter of fact, is very similar to meet the Fockers. You understand? Meet the Fockers, which is spelled Fock, but instead of the A, they replaced the A with the ERS. But it's still saying the same damn thing. It's still a Germanic dialect. And once again, the word fuck is Faka in the 1600s. It means to strike. So, what is that saying? Do not we still speak practically the Germanic dialect as we speak today? When we say I'm gonna fuck you up, we say that we are gonna make a mischievous pursuit towards you. We're gonna strike you. When we say stuff like that, we are speaking in ignorance, which means unawareness. We are speaking in a Germanic dialect. Now, I also found out that in the 1400s, the word fuck meant fornication was used by some poet. I forgot his name. I read it on Wikipedia. All right. Now, the word shit. I explained this too. The word shit, and it comes from the Old English word, and I think it's pronounced skit, skeet, and it's spelled Scitte. You heard me? Scitte. And it means diarrhea. It means diarrhea. It means diarrhea. And if you type in verbatim the origin of the word shit, you understand? It will tell you that it was never meant indigenously meant to be spoken in a vulgar connotation. So don't ever talk to me about, oh, he's saying fucking shit. He's saying curse word. I know what curse word is. The word curse means to wish bad things to occur towards your brother or your sister, to wish evil tidings, to wish evil things to occur. That's what a curse is. You understand? That's what a curse is. To wish evil tidings, to wish an evil report to surface, to come to fruition, and to be put into action towards your brother. If I say, man, oh man, look, that nigga think you all that, bro. I hope a nigga bust his head, man. You know, hope they get hit by a bus. That is wishing a curse upon someone. That is cursing. And the word for that is Allah. It's spelled ALAH. So once again, don't tell me about no damn curse word. Okay? Don't tell me about no curse word. I didn't curse. All right? Now once again, constructive racism. Let's explain that. When you deal with something that's constructive, once again, it encircles a positive connotation. You know, it does not have a vulgar connotation. Now, I was looking at some comments earlier from the Hebrew, from the Christian and Hebrew. Hold up, let me do this right quick. Christian and Hebrew Israelite discussion group, and what happened was you had guys that was talking about Hebrew Israelites being racist, and one guy said, well, black people can't really be racist, because he said black people can be prejudiced, but black people can be racist. Because in order for black man to be racist, he have to act upon that prejudice, like to put one to death, to kill someone, to rape you, to rob you, to murder you, to sodomize you, or some of that nature. And I don't think he said all that, but I'm saying sodomize because that's what these crackers did towards us, to enforce their racism towards us. Now I explained to the brother Rodney Ricks, shout out to the brother Rodney Ricks and his brother Ramon. I explained to him that there's a 1994 interview with what's his name, Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Khalid Muhammad. He was being interviewed by Phil Donahue, and this was like around 1994, and I can remember clearly that what happened was I think some Jewish guy or some white guy in the audience told Dr. Khalid Muhammad that you being a racist, and Dr. Khalid Muhammad was like, a black man can never be racist because racism means prejudice and power, and that's true to an extent. And the reason why I say to an extent because the white man's prejudice and power. Of course, the white man has the power to enforce his prejudice. He has the political power to enforce his prejudice. We see it all the time. Joseph Weekly, the white faggot devil that shot and killed a 7-year-old girl by name of Ayanna Jones. She died May 16, 2010. You heard me? Shot her dead in the head, man, in Detroit, Michigan. And then when I think it was the mother, the grandmother of that child, was crying her behind off. You can see that the white boy, the devil, just had that stern look on his face, like he ain't give a fuck. No form of sympathy. But yet y'all want us to sympathize with that little white devil who rightfully got eaten by an alligator. Why you want us to sympathize with that? But whenever we talk about what surfaced on the 16th of May of 2010, y'all want us to forget about it. Y'all want us to forget about it. Why should we? Why should we forget about full 40 million to 100 million black people who navigated back and forth, who navigate into the Americas, from the western component of Africa. You understand me? Why should we forget that? Why should we? But y'all want us to remember 9/11. Now, if I ever go to a football game, whether it's a Saints game, because I'm a Saints fan, let's say that I think the Saints played against the Giants in the second game of the regular season. If I were to take a trip to New York and I were to say the national anthem or whatnot, y'all want me to get up. And if I don't get up, y'all go act a fool. Or better yet, if a football game happens to take place on September 11th, if I don't get up and honor that, y'all gonna want to pick a fight because y'all want to enforce a memorial upon me. That's what y'all want to do. Y'all want to enforce a memorial upon me. You understand? And of course, white Jews owns the media. They own the Associated Press. Who you think was in charge of the Associated Press when they gave out two racist scenarios? One racism in favor of white people and one racism in disfavor of black people. When Hurricane Katrina, you saw white couples who are walking through the flood and they're carrying food and stuff like that. And the caption says these are white people who are trying to survive, by carrying bags of food and stuff like that. I'm paraphrasing, but in other words, they were saying these white people were trying to survive when they was looting, getting bread, getting meat, getting drinks, stuff like that. But then you saw a picture of a little boy who was probably no older than 11, 12, or 13, and this same Associated Press said that here's a young black boy, a young as a bag of food in his hand after looting a store. You understand? I remember Bill Maher brought that out. That white Jewish dude, Bill Maher, that be on HBO. Who you think is behind that? Ain't no niggas behind that story. Ain't no niggas behind that propaganda. Nothing but crackers. Now, Dr. Khalid Muhammad says the white man has prejudice, power, which is true, but the white man have the 3 P's when it comes to racism. The white man have prejudice, he have prevarication. What does prevarication mean? Let's look it up. Let's look up prevarication. I don't know if I'm going to do a 7-hour video I wish I could. All right. Um, prevarication. It says while the noun prevarication is mostly just a fancy way to say lie, it can also mean skirting around the truth, being given, especially to avoid telling the truth, which means they want to conceal the truth. Truth concealers. You understand? They want to conceal the truth to disclose subterfuge, to disclose a lie. Now, the word prevaricate means to speak falsely or misleadingly. This is from dictionary.com/browse/prevaricate. To speak falsely, to speak falsehood or misleadingly, deliberately misstate or create an incorrect impression. And it also means the act of prevaricating or lying. Now, that's why we call the white man a devil, because the word devil means what? It means liar, it means deceiver, it means a willing bearer of false witness and a willing bearer of fabricated fraudulent accounts. You understand? And the word for that in the Greek language is diablo. The word devil in the Hebrew language is shad, and it means demon. And one of the many qualifications of a demon is prevarication, is lies and falsehoods, and purposely misinterpreting or misleading with information. If you are purposely misleading with information, that means what? You're purposely concealing and you know just basically shunning truth. Truth is clandestine. You understand? It's a secret. You are covering truth. You're putting the veil over truth. And the white man using his power to prevaricate, to lie. He used the media to bear false witness. Oh, 50 faggots were killed in Orlando. Wow, 50 faggots were killed in Orlando. But yet you see the faggots that you think that the faggots being carried out, you understand, by some so-called good Samaritans out of a club. But yet if you pay very close attention, then the name of the faggot club was called the Pulse. And that building in the building that random fags who was fully injured was coming out of wasn't the fag club called the Pulse. If you pay very close attention, he was being carried out of some random building and they was being carried away into the place called the Pulse. They're trying to fool y'all. They're trying to trick y'all. Prevarication, the white man's racism, power, prejudice, prevarication. Now you may say, okay, then where do black people stand? Yes, we have power too, and we do have prejudice. We do have the ability to discriminate, and we have some power. But our power is more organic, is more street, is more urban, is more spiritual, is more celestial, and is social. You understand? I like what Sarah Susan said. He said in a video with the Amin Ra Squad when first the nigga said something like he said, "This is your brother, and I don't give a fuck about no other, but the people's of my own color." You understand? Because I am a racist. He said, "That's right, I am that. I am a racist, and I'm proud to be a racist, and I'm gonna be a racist." And all you fake ass niggas talking about that y'all not a racist and y'all ain't no some goddamn hypocritical ass liars. Y'all just want to be a closet and conceal racist. You know, he was like, man, I choose to be out in the open with mine, man. I hate white people. I hate the fucking Mexicans. And I hate the fucking Chinese people. You know, so it was so funny, man, what he was saying when he said all that stuff. Um, of course, I disagree with you know. On the other hand, with Kim and all that, but he was right on with that as far as the racist part. And then you can hear Sanel in the background asking him, okay, if you're a racist, then where's your motherfucking power? because racism is prejudice and power, and you can tell that he was a big time student of Khalid Muhammad, because that's what Khalid Muhammad taught. And like I said, that's what he said, particularly in the 1994 controversial interview on the Phil Donahue show. And I like Cyrus Seti's answer. He said, "My power, man, is the fact that we can influence 20 million niggas to feel their force and to feel their frequency and to feel that firepower. You understand? And watch the firepower that's being distributed from this video here, and giving them the inspiration and with aspirations to make some moves based upon the scholarship and the powerful information that's being brought about by black conscious people." He said, "That's power, nigga." You hear me? And that's an excellent point, you know? But like I said, the white man, prejudice, power, prevarication. The black man's racism, prejudice, power. Here's the interesting part. Proliferation. Proliferation is dealing with productivity. It deals with efficiency. Understand? It deals with efficiency. You understand? It deals with efficiency. It deals with progress. It deals with basically a moral compass. You understand? It deals with the moral compass. And just like Minister Baines told Malcolm Little in a movie Malcolm X with Denzel Washington, he said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the true the nature of the true nature of the black man's righteousness, the true nature of the black man's righteousness. Then Malcolm X followed by saying that the true nature of the white man is wickedness. You understand? So, once again, our racism, since y'all want to call it that, and I accept it, because I do love my people. I don't want to see another 72 murders in Chicago in July like there was in June alone. Now that makes me racist to want to heavily focus on the welfare of my people and disregard the welfare of white people. Then you know what? That's a trade that I live with gracefully. Remember that movie True Believers with Robert Downey Jr. and James Woods and Kurtwood Smith. Kurtwood Smith's the guy that played on movies like he played Clarence Boddicker in the 1987 classic movie RoboCop. The hit of a Detroit gang. He also played in Rambo 3 as Griggs, Lieutenant Griggs, some shit like that. He also played the father on that 70s show. In this particular movie that came out in 1989, he played a district attorney. And he wanted to prosecute and send an Asian guy to jail because he thought he actually committed a crime. I think James Woods said something like, I think he said, "You're racist," or "People gonna look at you as a racist." I forgot exactly what he said. And I can't remember what Kurtwood Smith's answer was. He said, "Me wanting to put away a criminal, you understand, no matter what race," I'm paraphrasing, "if me want to put away a criminal makes me a racist," he said, "then that is a trade that I live with." I'm like, that's gangster. That's gangster like a mug. You heard me? That is gangster. So it goes back to what I was saying. The Bible pretty much has its racial implications. It has its racial implications. Get it how you live. Get it how you live. Stay the fuck away from our history. You understand? I'm gonna say it one more time. Stay the fuck away from our history. That's our shit. You understand? And like what Captain Cesario said, y'all bunch of fucking culture bandits, man. Y'all culture bandits. Y'all stole rock and roll from it. You're trying to steal hip hop from us. Now you got the coolest niggas in the world talking about Eminem's the greatest rapper of all time. Dismissing Tupac, dismissing Biggie, dismissing Mystical, dismissing Nas, dismissing Paris. You understand? The Black Panther of rap music. That's what I'm talking about. Dismissing all these great rappers. Mac. You understand? Ghostface Killer. You understand? Raekwon, Jizza, the Wu-Tang Clique. And you putting this devil over them. You heard me? Y'all putting this devil over them. That's a damn shame. That is a damn shame. You're trying to whitewash everything. And just like it says in First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48. You understand? It says basically that the heathen is going to uh, paint. I'm paraphrasing the predominant, the black preponderant figures in the Bible. You understand? Into their images. How can y'all deny that the Hebrew Israelites in the Bible are black people when you have buku white people admitting that the Hebrew Israelites are white are black people? Most recently, Harry Rosenberg. Harry Rosenberg is a freaking Jewish guy. The dude admitted in more than one occasions that black people are the real Hebrew Israelites. His argument, just like Vocab Malone and every other white boy's argument, is that they look at the Gentiles as not being Israelites. You understand? Who succumb to Gentile state of mind. They look at them as, non-Israelite non-racially Israelite group of people who can be grafted into the covenant. That's his only argument. You understand? Which I very much disagree with, but I do respect the fact that he admit that black people are the real Israelites. The dude even said in the video when they had a couch discussion in Polite's house. In Polite's house. And I could never forget the word he said when he mentioned Deuteronomy 20 and 60. He said, amazing. He was like, man, it's amazing how much African Americans fist their prophecy. It's the freaking Jewish guy saying this shit, for crying out loud. A fucking Jewish guy saying this. You know how defensive Jewish people is when it comes to protect the heritage they think that exclusive to them? Come on now. And you had the other scholar named Mark Goodacre. Mark Goodacre said that ain't no way in hell that Christ is a white boy. Ain't no way in hell. Now I'm gonna go to some scriptures right quick. But first, I really do want to look at I really do want to go over some things that I saw. That's been said, by random idiots on this Christian Hebrew Israelite gospel discussion group. You heard me? Okay. Some Spaniard named what's his name? Bio Predicao. He says, congratulations, Hebrew Israelites, you made a newspaper. Hope you're proud of yourselves. And he shared something of a page called Revolution, and it said, this is what real racism looks like. A group of racist thugs harass white people walking by. Now tell me that's not racist within itself to refer to these guys as thugs. It's amazing. Those two cracker cops who just murdered Alden Sterling just 2 fucking days ago, 2 nights ago. That's not the act of a thug. And they're so stupid they don't know what the fuck a thug is. A thug is a assassin from Bombay, India, in the 18th century. Do these niggas like fucking people of Bombay, India? It shows how stupid these crackers is, man. You heard me? It shows how unintelligent they are. Unintelligent. Now, I'm just gonna do some more stuff, man. I already covered the racist part, but I guess I don't mind talking some more about the racist thing because like I said, when we talk about the Bible does have its racial implications. It does, once again, everybody knows in the history of those who are recipient of some wills. You understand? If I write somebody in the will, I'm gonna write somebody into my will that meets the same genetic, not to mention racial paradigm as I do. It's just that simple. Let me give you an example. Tom Benson. Tom Benson, get some water right quick. Now, Tom Benson, who's the owner of a stadium that used to be called the Louisiana Superdome, and now it's called the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. It's been called this since 2011, and he's also a owner of the New Orleans Saints franchise. And his net worth, as we speak, is over $2.2 billion. The dude is born in July 1927. So that means that he is already 9 years old or he's going on 9 years old. The dude time could be up real soon. Now the dude has 2 children, and I believe he has some grandchildren. Now the names of his 2 children is Robert Carter Benson and Tootsie Benson. Now, use your goddamn sense. When Tom Benson perishes, when he finally becomes deceased, who in the fuck is going to be the recipient of the inheritance? Who's gonna be the recipient of the inheritance? Those who meet the genetic, not to mention the racial paradigm. And that is who? That is his physiological seed, his descendants. Same thing with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones owns the Dallas Cowboys franchise, and he also owns the AT&T Stadium with the retractable roof, and he's worth $2.5 billion more. No, $2.8 billion more than Tom Benson because he's worth $5 billion. When he dies, who's gonna get the inheritance? His descendants. Why? Because they are his children and they meet the genetic, not to mention racial attribute, racial criteria, the racial standard to rightfully obtain the inheritance. So what the hell makes this any different? The new covenant is very specific to those who meet the racial and genetic criteria. Nobody else is included. All right? It's just that simple. And one dude, the last caller of James White Devil, the dude made a great example. He said, look, if you win a lottery that's worth $100 million, nobody else is entitled to that $100 million because that is your blessing. That is your inheritance. That is your inheritance. But see, you know what he's doing though? I have $100 million, but he wants a piece of it because we all bleed the same blood. You know how asinine, S10, S11, S12 that shit sound? No, but he wants a piece of that pie because of greed and lust and lasciviousness. To take by force, to take by coercion, something that was never exclusive to them in the first place. That's some whole shit. If I go to John Benson right now and say, hey, look, hey man, give me at least a percentage. Come on, man, we all bleed the same blood. You understand? We're not exempt from death. We're not exempt from hurt. We're not exempt from heartbreaking. We're not exempt from sorrow. We're not exempt from melancholy. So why don't you give me a little piece of that pie? We all one, right? He gonna look at me like I'm crazy. Might even send the police to escort me out. So what makes you think that we have no right to call y'all out? What makes you think that we don't have a right to say, nah, if you don't meet the racial criteria, go on bye-bye. It's just that simple. It is just that simple. You understand? It's simple. You have to meet the racial and genetic criteria to be a recipient of something. Very simple. You can't run from that. You can't duck that. It's right there in your face. Okay? Now, let's go to Jeremiah 31. And we're going to read starting at verse 31. All right? And it says, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that will make a new covenant, a new contract, a new treaty, a new agreement with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Once again, racial paradigm, racial and genetic criteria. It did not say the house, everybody from every nation. You may say, you're implying the Most High is a racist. Yes, he is. Let me ask you something. If you are creator of something, you have the right to dispose what you created, or you have the right to preserve what you created. Did y'all know that the first Sony PlayStation was originally going to be called the Super Nintendo CD? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that the Sony PlayStation, the very first PlayStation PS1, was originally supposed to be the Super Nintendo CD, like you have a Sega CD? Now, as a Nintendo fan, I'm like, it was a dumb move for them to not to disclose it to the public, because I would have loved that. But once again, the creators of the Nintendo franchise have the right to say, hey, look, I don't think that this would be very competitive in the market. The video game market is very stiff. I don't think that this is of great preponderance enough to be to be pushed and promoted, into the stores. So I have the right to dispose the concept. They have the right to dispose, to cast away what they created. If it's unaspirated, if it's undesirable to them, why would you want to preserve that which is undesirable to you? The children of Israel and the children of Israel and the house of Israel and the house of Judah are the Most High's racial aspiration, or his most racial preference out of all people. Think about this. Michael Jordan was cut, I think, in his 10th grade year. And I think he said that Leroy Smith was the last guy to make a team, according to Michael Jordan's playground, with that dude Tyron Turner who played King in Menace to Society. The reason why the coach picked Leroy Smith over Michael Jordan, because he didn't think Michael Jordan was good enough. And he has the right to not to pick Michael Jordan. Because if he didn't see fit that Jordan meets the standards to make the team competitive in a stiff competition in high school basketball, you're not going to pick him. Everybody has preferences. We deal with preferences every freaking day. I'll give you another example. The Pro Bowl actually works different now. You don't have the AFC versus NFC no more. You have Team Rice versus Team Jerry Rice. You have Team Irvin as in Team Michael Irvin. Sometimes you have Team Deion Sanders. That means an NFC player and an AFC player can play at the same team. So if team right decide, okay, in my quarterback position, I want Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers. You understand? That's his preference. He think that those quarterbacks are the perfect weapons. You understand, to run the offense, to make the game competitive and peradventure become the victors. And let's say team rights. Once again, I got Richard Sherman as my corner. But Michael Irvin says, nah, you know what? I got Keenan Lewis as my main corner. Because he think, hey, look, Keenan Lewis might suffice better than Richard Sherman. You know? They all entitled to preferences. Why in the hell is so different with the Most High? Oh yeah, man, I'm going for Team Rice to beat on Team Irvin. But you don't even realize that you're going for a team that was preferred by individual based upon an individual's preferences. before I came to the truth, like I said, I was working at this church in South Dallas. Matter of fact, I think I was in the truth at the time. I think it wasn't the truth. I think it wasn't the truth at the time. I think it was. I think it wasn't the truth. And the pastor had his evening meeting, his special evening meeting, and they all had a meeting at the church kitchen. And he was asking different members, different pastoral staff members, what is a God? Who is God? And it was given, and the woman was given their own concept of who they think God is. And he was like, okay, so you saying you're a pimp then? You creating a God in your image instead of creating a God of the Bible. Now, for a Christian pastor, that means something, and that's exactly what the Christians doing. They want to have their own concept of who God is, because they don't want to accept the God that's a racial segregationist. You can clearly see that he is. And I just read that he would make a new covenant with the house of Israel, was comprised of, some people say 10 tribes, some people say 9 tribes, and with the house of Judah was comprised three tribes: Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. It says, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which covenant they break, which means they contravened and broken. I was a husband unto them, said the Lord. Verse 33, but on the contrary, this shall be the covenant, the contract that I will make with the house of Israel. Now he's saying house of Israel because they're becoming one now. They are becoming one. The house of Israel comprised once again of all 12 tribes. Once again, this is a racially motivated, racially separatist statement. It does not include the non-Israelite people. You see, there's a table of 18 nations, which means there's 18 different races of people. And if there is 18 different races of people, there's only one out the 18 is going to make it. You understand? To the kingdom, and they will be calculated as the sons of God, as it says in Hosea chapter 1, verse 10. The Gentiles, the non-Israelite Gentiles, would not receive that same privilege. All right? And it says, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After these days, said the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts. And this towards you preterists too. You preterists that keep saying that all the prophecies came to fruition. This prophecy never came to fruition. Because when it says, I will put my law in the inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. which means what? We don't need to be taught the law, statutes, and commandments no more because it's become a natural instinct. It's a natural instinct, which means that the time will come when a child will automatically know that a shrimp is unclean. I didn't automatically know that a shrimp was unclean at the age of 6, and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I didn't know that the shrimp was automatic. I didn't have any instincts that proved that the shrimp was unclean. Because hey, look, if it tastes good, it must be good. You understand? So this is not talking about now. If the law's already written in your heart, what's the point of teaching? And speaking of that, is when it's go to verse 34, when it says just that. They shall teach no more every man his neighbor. And the word neighbor is equivalent with the word achiam, and it means brother or brethren. So once again, this is speaking in of a specific people that makes up a specific genetic marker, a specific racial group. Okay? And it says, in every man his brother. There you go. Brother, neighbor, they mean the same thing. They're interchangeable words. You understand? Saying, know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, said the Lord. And I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. How can the Most High remember our sin no more, the sin of the Israelites no more, when we still putting sin and transgression and contravention of the law, statutes, commandments, regulations, and protocols into motion? For sin is the transgression of the laws. Homosexuality is a sin and it's abomination. That is still heavily circulating this wicked and atrocious kingdom. So to you preterists out there, y'all are false prophets. Y'all bearing false witness, and y'all playing a Christian game again, saying the prophecies have already come to pass, and the laws no longer relevant because y'all want to be homosexuals. Y'all want to commit bestiality. Like they just passed a law 7-1 in favor of bestiality in Canada just last month, I believe. And notice I said, they shall teach no more. The word no is negative. You understand? They shall teach no more every man his neighbor. Why? Because the teaching is going to be automatically inserted and permeated into our minds, into our hearts. If you got Hebrew Israelites that's still teaching that you're the Hebrew Israelite that the Bible speaks of, then we know that the scripture haven't come to fruition. We know the scripture haven't come to pass. So who's lying? Who was being the willing bearer of fabricated and fraudulent accounts? That's prevarication right there. That is prevarication. All right. And it says, verse 35, thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divide the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If these ordinances depart before me, said the Lord, then the seed of Israel shall cease from being a nation before me, meaning in my presence forever. So what he's saying is, if the sun is stopped giving light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and the stars, produces a dimmer light, a lesser light by night, he said, if those ordinances are no longer put into action, you understand, and the lights have totally been put out, the children of Israel would be a nation, would be a race to him, the most preferred race to him, never again. Which means what? The sun will never be put out. The solar prominence for the sun, that will never be put out. Okay? Once again, racial genetic criteria. If you don't meet the genetic and racial criteria, the inheritance do not belong to you. And therefore, what you do is we're just doing from that point on is coveting. Coveting is a sin. Okay? Coveting is a sin. All right. Now y'all fools out there that's trying to correct the brother Sakari. You understand? The Sakari camp. There's nothing to correct. You understand? There is nothing to correct because y'all waking up a sleeping giant. And I'm telling y'all, that time is gonna come. That time is gonna come when the name Hebrew Israelite itself will be a household name. That's gonna irk the F out y'all. It's gonna irk the F out y'all. I know it will. It's irking y'all right now. Y'all hate the fact that Wanya Morris and Sean Stockman, two out of four members of Boys to Men, know the Hebrew Israelites. Y'all hate the fact that Lauryn Hill knows she's a Hebrew Israelite. Y'all hate the fact that Killer Priest, you understand? Killer Priest of Wu-Tang Clan is a Hebrew Israelite. Y'all hate that. Y'all hate that Emil. Y'all hate that Brandon Jackson from, I think, Roll Bounce with Lil Bow Wow. And from Big Mama's House Part 2, which unfortunately he was doing some cross-dressing with Mark Lawrence. It came out 2006. Y'all hate the fact that he's coming into the knowledge. Y'all hate the fact that Zab Judah, you understand? Professional boxer, knows he's a Hebrew Israelite. Y'all hate that Layman Brewster. My man, shout out to my man Layman Brewster. Shout out to my man Layman Brewster, the Ak, the brother man. Those out there who don't know what Layman Brewster is. Layman Brewster is the same brother who destroyed Vladimir Klitschko of the Klitschko brothers in 6 rounds back in April the 10th, 2004 to win his very first heavyweight championship title. And I will never forget when he won his title because I remember he quoted a scripture in the New Testament where it says, "If God be for you, who can be against you?" That made me respect the dude right there. Y'all hate that. And this brother's on fire when it comes to his knowledge. The dude probably just came to the truth like last year or two, and this dude got knowledge like he's been in truth for like 10, 15 years, like an elder. And Derek Royals, the brother Derek Royals, he was a Golden Glove champion, I believe, in 1988. He also for professional boxing too. He was a heavyweight contender. You understand? And he's been in truth since 1984. Y'all Christians hate that. Y'all hate that. You heard me? Shout out to the brother Arthur Show Business Reggie III. He's not really in the knowledge, so to speak, but he does know that the black Jews, the black people are the original Jews. Because I've seen him talk about it more than one occasion, man. And I want to say to the brother Arthur Show Business Reggie, man, that the Most High is working through you, man. Those y'all don't know, that's the brother that played Alfie on the 1994 Nickelodeon sitcom show called My Brother and Me. He was also one of the regulars on. I think the first. I don't think it's the second season, but I think it was the first season of Martin. You know, if you remember, there was an episode when Martin was telling his Christmas story to the kids in school.
Boy with the big head, if you don't sit down, man. Good boy.
Sam's acting like we asked him to come here. Hey, I have a question. Why is Rudolph's nose so red?
Because he's on that stuff. Hey, kids, let's just say no.
Santa, do you know every boy and girl's name?
I sure do.
Then what's my name?
Hold on. You are Waterhead. Now shut up.
You know what I mean? That's him. You know, that's the brother. And you know, I saw him on more than one occasion when he said that we blacks are the real Jews. So the Most High is working through this brother, and you Christians are getting pissed at that. You understand? Y'all could be the ass crack. You understand? Of everyone's joke. Because y'all simple, and that's what I keep telling y'all. When y'all say y'all Christians, y'all tell the truth about yourselves. Once again, the word Christian, if you don't believe me, then let's look it up. Let's look at the word Christian. All right. And once again, the word Christian is equivalent with the word. There you go. Here it is. And the Latin word is Christianus, and it says it means so-called human being. The Swiss French word is Christian, which is you get Christian, which is culture to the French word Cretan, and it means a stupid person, used as a general term of abuse. They also use a person who is deformed or mentally handicapped because of congenital thyroid deficiency. You hear me? It says here used to mean human being, apparently as a reminder that those deformed Cretans were human and not beasts. Right? That's what they're trying to say with the word, Cretan means. But the first two definitions you're gonna encounter is stupid, right? So don't think that I'm bearing false witness. Don't think that I'm bearing false witness. Once again, Christ was not speaking Greek; he was speaking Hebrew. And once again, there's a guy by the name of Jeff Benner in a 6-part series. I think it's called "The Shemitic Origins of the New Testament." And he also brought the contradictions in the Greek New Testament. In the Greek New Testament, let me give you an example. We're gonna go to the Bible. You heard me? We're gonna go to Matthew chapter 23. Check this out. Matthew 23. Now check out the contradiction in the Greek New Testament. It says, this is same Matthew chapter 23, verse 1. It says, then spake Yahushua, or Jesus, to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, I'm in verse 2, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Verse 3, all therefore whatsoever they bid you, what mean that they offer you or tell you what to do, you observe and do it. That's what he's saying. That observe and do. But this is what Christ said at the same time. But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. So Christ is one hand telling you that you need to do the work that whatsoever the Pharisees and the scribes bid you to do, you observe it. Whatever if they tell you what to do, you are to adhere to them. You understand? Without even a microcosm of resentment or questioning, and observe and do. But then Christ said right after that, don't do their works at the same time. Do not after they works, for they say and do not. Now, the Hebrew New Testament, if I can remember off the top of my head, it says something like, instead of saying the scribes, it says the wise ones, and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Then it says, all therefore, whatsoever Moses bid you observe, that observe and do. Once again, this is off the top of my head, and I'm paraphrasing. But in other words, that's what it's saying in the Hebrew New Testament. But then it says, but do not ye after the works of the wise ones and the Pharisees, for they say and do not. You understand? This is the Hebrew version of Matthew 23. The Matthew 23 that we encounter, that's the contradiction Greek version. This is the contradiction Greek version. That's why I keep telling y'all, Christians, y'all actually live up to your name because y'all really are that deformed. For you to even deny the Hebrew is like the proof that you are deformed. You know, nobody challenged me on whether it was on wasn't the Christian and Hebrew Israelite gospel discussion group. They replied to my stuff, but it wasn't a challenge that was worth me replying back. None of it. None of it. And I'm about to prove it to you. Y'all check this out. See how stupid these people is. Check this out. I'll bear me for a second. Crazy, man. Let's see. Trying to. All right. Wow. He must be wasted like a coward. I'm talking about this Abdel Mashi, because he had basically what he did was he posted uh he posted something about uh you know claiming that we have a false interpretation of Deuteronomy chapter 60 20 verse 68 by saying that when it said the Lord shall bring into Egypt again with ships, this fool, just like every other fool, was implying that that's referring to I think book of chapter 6 of Ephesians, not Ephesians, but the book of Josephus, when it says that they offer themselves unto the slave owners and taskmasters in Egypt. But if you look into the works of Josephus, and he talks about how the Israelites was so called in Egypt, excuse me again, not one time do you see the word ships. Not one time do you see the word ships that's inserted in any of the writings that encompasses that and that circulated the events that happened, I think, in 69 AD. Because when you go to the book of St. Matthew chapter 23, and let's get there right quick. And this proves that the Egypt that this is talking about, I mean, not particularly this, but Egypt that was talked about in Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 68 was actually speaking in a metaphorical and figurative sense. Because once again, Exodus chapter 20, verse 2 says what? It says that it says Egypt is calculated as a house of bondage. The Lord had the Lord the God had brought thee out of house of out of Egypt. Then it has a comma. A comma denotes continuity. You understand? And it gives you further details. You understand? Out of the house of bondage. So Egypt was equivalent with the word bondage. Okay? Now the word for Egypt in the ancient Hebrew would be Montezion. In the Assyrian Hebrew, it would be Mizraim. And it means double straits. Now the straits in this case is indicative of a predicament or plight or trouble or sorrow or great ordeal. You understand? A crisis. You understand? It encompasses all those things. When our people came into the Americas, they said we came in 1619 at the English at the North American colony of Jamestown, Virginia, and through Dutch ships. When our people migrated into the Americas as slaves, were we not in a predicament? Were we not in a crisis? What about the buck breaking when these white devils was actually fucking the male? You understand? The male wasn't homosexual and they had children. And they was having sex and penetrating the anus of these black males. And they did it right in front of their children to demoralize not only the father, but to demoralize and traumatize their children during their childhood. And they call it buck breaking. Tell me there's not a predicament. Tell me there's not a plight and a plague and a pestilence among black people. Because that's exactly what straight means, is in double straights in the ancient Hebrew word of Egypt. Tell me, tell me that the Israelites being sold for wine, which is prophecy of not Deuteronomy, but Joel chapter 3, verse 3, I believe. It says the harlot, the boy should be sold for a harlot, for Sodom, for sodomites, and the girl should be sold for wine, meaning rum, or what they call it, the kill devil. You understand? Tell me that's not true. Tell me that's not a crisis. Gator bait, and to show you how evil James White is, and the brother, Gorilla Hebrew brought this out. Um, he mentioned how the white boy got eaten up by an alligator, I believe, in Florida. And he said, I don't care about that because we were gator bait. We were gator bait. And then James White had the nerve to totally dismiss gator bait by saying, now this guy just said that he doesn't care about the little Caucasian white boy who was eaten by alligator in Florida because he's a white boy. Totally, I mean, just right in his face, just totally dismiss the fact that the black boys in the Louisiana swamps and in the Florida in the coast of Florida, they even had freaking stamps. Matter of fact, the brother that did the story, he even had a pencil sharpener, and a pencil sharpener, I think was an alligator's mouth. You understand? And the tip where the eraser used to be at was actually a white boy, I mean, a black boy. You understand? And when you sharpen that pencil, that the toy, you understand, is close to alligator's mouth, which is once again a reproach in basically like just poking fun at the babies being eaten alive by alligators. You see nigger baby being eaten by alligators. And you see a baby with his eyes all buck and bubble-eyed, and not bubble-eyed, and making fun, but just scared for his life. You see the baby that's not even developed enough to crawl, not even developed enough to walk, crawling, running from his life, crawling for his life, as the alligator is making a mischievous and fatal pursuit. And James White didn't want to talk about that. We were talking about some fucking white devil. You understand? That. And matter of fact, they knew that they weren't supposed to be swimming. I think that there was supposed to be a freaking that there was a sign that says "Do not enter," something like that. They disobeyed protocol. They disobeyed protocol. And y'all want me to feel sorry for that. Y'all want me to feel sorry for that white boy Bryce. Whatever his name is, that guy's face slammed by a white cop. But yet I just saw y'all assholes on the Christian and Hebrew Israelite uh, uh, Facebook page actually justifying the police officer killing and shooting Alden Sterling in the head because he resisted a little bit. Y'all want me to have sympathy for y'all. Y'all want me to have sympathy for white people. Y'all crazy. Something big. Murder, kill, man. That's what I'm talking about. Murder, kill. You hear me? Peep game. And I'm talking about academically too. Because I know how much of a devil and slick y'all white people is. I'm talking about academically and scholarly. I'm gonna let the Most High take care of killing y'all because y'all mortality rate is already on the rise. And shout out to all the Caucasians out there. Rise up, white boys. As far as your mortality rate is concerned, I ain't talking about the Atlanta Falcons either. Rise up. You hear me? Now, we're gonna go to St. Matthew chapter 2, verse 13. And it says, and when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt. Okay, that's key. Flee into Egypt, and we're gonna show you what word isn't present between verses 13 and 16. Okay, it says, and thou be there till I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. Verse 14, when he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt. Verse 15, and was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Lord by the prophet, saying, out of Egypt have I called my son. Verse 16, then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem and all the coasts thereof, from 2 years old or under. 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men. Now you know what? I'm gonna skip to verse 19. It says, and when Herod was dead, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Arise, take the young child and his mother and go into the land of Israel, for they are dead which sought the young child's life. Now, once again, in any of these scriptures, in any of these verses that I brought, have you one time have seen that he used a specific transportation to make a smooth transition from Israel to Kemet or to Egypt? Not one time have you saw that these cats migrate into Egypt to avoid the killing spree, the murder spree of the King Herod into ships. And why? Because they did not migrate into Egypt with ships. If they did, the Bible says the Bible is very specific. Ain't nothing vague about scriptures. Niggas just don't understand. I just don't want to understand. No way. No way, man. That this is talking about anything. But it's exactly what it says. But y'all won't be devils. Y'all won't be deceivers. Y'all want, to play on a subterfuge. Y'all just want to bear false witness. You hear me? Y'all just want to bear false witness. Now, I might call it quits for a little while. Like I said, I might call it quits for a little while, but I will be back, man. And I'm telling you, it's gonna be harder than ever. It's gonna be harder than ever, bro. Because it is ridiculous of the ignorance, man, that I'm seeing. And Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 7 says, surely oppression shall make a wise man mad. So you damn right I'm an angry black man. You damn right I'm an angry black nigga. Because this is crazy. This is wild. You heard me? This is wild. You understand me? This is wild like a mug. Now, I'm actually going to go towards the scripture, or should I say the page that I went to earlier. And I recommend y'all to come to this particular web page. You heard me? And it's called Hebrew Israelite Christian and Islam Discussion Group. And I'm trying to scroll down. Okay, yeah. Vocab Malone, dumbass, said this. Basically, he was saying that Deuteronomy. He said, "All praise to God, all praise to the Lord." He's like, "Praise the Lord." Deuteronomy 28 and 68 was fulfilled, and he mentioned John Gill, and John Gill was a guy that that did his little footnotes, did his little in so-called exegesis, and what Deuteronomy 20 and 68 actually meant. And if you go click on the commentary is so asinine because he actually kind of implies that Jeremiah chapter 42 verses 13 to 22 and Jeremiah chapter 43 verses 4 to 7 is actually a play on the 20 and 20 chapter 60 verse of Deuteronomy when it actually doesn't. And this is what I said. I said first and foremost, this is super asinine. Why? Because when you read through the verses uh 13 to 22 in Jeremiah chapter 42, the word ships is nowhere to be discovered. And this also goes to Jeremiah chapter 43, verses 4 to 7. Nowhere in these scriptures, Johnny Boy Gill um, brought out even remotely discloses that the Israelites migrated into Egypt with any form of transportation. It said there are only two scriptures in the Bible that mentions Egypt and ships in the same verse, but only one that makes reference that the ships will make a transition unto Egypt in the same sentence of the verse, referring to Deuteronomy 20 and 68, while Egypt and ships are mentioned separately and doesn't connect to each other, referring to Ezekiel 30 and 9. Now, some white boy named Jamie Sanders said John Gill actually said that the prophecy in Deuteronomy 20 is not fulfilled in Jeremiah 42. Gill gives another lead historical occasions, even quoting Greek and Jewish historians for the likely fulfillment. This prophecy in Deuteronomy 20 isn't about a willing migration, but detailing the result of the Hebrews' punishment, where many of them, though not all, will be put on the Egyptian slave market and find a willing buyer. This ship stuff is therefore honestly irrelevant, and that's when I straight up I just fire up the piss out of him. I just went off on him. But but John Gill does make reference pretty much to later so-called historical texts. And this is what the fool says as he quotes, at least trying to quote Josephus. We actually quote him. Uh, hmm. It says, it says, even into a state of hard bondage and slavery, like that their fathers were in Egypt, or rather strictly and literally should be brought to Egypt again, since it's said to be with or in ships. This does not respect the going of those Jews into Egypt who were left in the land of Judea after the destruction of Jerusalem by Nebuchadnezzar, uh, for that was against the express command of the Most High. Uh, he also says Jews went into Egypt and Phoenicia because of the sedition of Syria after the death of Alexander, where it seems in process of time they became slaves. For we are told by Josephus that 120,000 slaves were set free by Ptolemy Philadelphus, but what is chiefly respected here, the case in the time of the Romans and by their means. Um, it's real crazy because I don't see anywhere which says that the Israelites went into Egypt during the time of Josephus into conflict, because remember Josephus was supposedly born in 37 AD and died in 100 AD. So apparently, if something happened in 69 AD, the dude would be 32 years old by that time. So So 31 or 32 years old. So once again, there's a lot of holes in what this white boy is saying. So I said what I said. I said fuck John Gill for all I care. I said Deuteronomy 20:60. It says it exactly what it says. And then I mentioned that Egypt is equivalent with slavery and severe servitude, and the definition of that in the Hebrew is perceived as twofold in its double straits. That's what I said earlier. And the word for that is Matazayim and Mizraim. It said the straits can mean the channels or um, it can mean the channels or narrow passage. But in this case, it means plight, difficulty, predicament, trouble, and crisis. And I said, so when our people came into the Americas in ships, were we not in a crisis or predicament? I said, was not buck breaking with these faggot ass white devils sodomize our forefathers right in front of their offsprings to demoralize and traumatize their children, as well as the one who permeated a crisis, predicament, troubled times, or great ordeal. I said, was not our black women used as bed warmers to the white man a crisis, a predicament, or a great ordeal? I asked him, what about the alligator bait in Louisiana swamps in the coast of Florida where the black babies was consumed alive? Is there not a crisis? Is there not a predicament? Is it not a great ordeal? Is it not? Is it not? Is it not? Is it not a plague and a pestilence among our people? A public plague, you know? I say, and how can you confirm that America is not Egypt when America is a spitting image of Egypt? And I brought up the fact that you have the pyramid arena, and the pyramid itself is pretty much based upon the pyramids of Egypt. And you have the town called Memphis, as in Memphis, Tennessee, and it's based upon the town in ancient Egypt called Memphis, which means white walls. And you have the Atlanta Hawks and Atlanta Falcons, and both are attributes of Haru. You understand? The biological son of the product of the ancestral marriage of Osiris or Asar, if you will, and Isis or Set, if you will. You understand? The hawk and the falcon are the two attributes of Ra. And not to mention the third attribute, dealing with Atlanta being a homosexual capital, because there was homosexuals in ancient Kemet, in ancient Egypt. You have the Luxor Hotel. The name Luxor itself is based upon Luxor, Egypt. I think it's located in Upper Egypt. And not only that you have an Egyptian name, but you have, I think, the head of the Sphinx or the Pharaoh, which is Egyptian reference, and is made in the shape of a pyramid, which is Egyptian reference. You have the back of the dollar bill, which is the Egyptian reference of a pyramid. Then you have the Eye of Haru. You understand? The Eye of Haru, which is based upon the good eye he had after losing his other eye in a battle against his uncle Seti. Come on now. Don't play with my intelligence. Don't play with my intelligence. Because you're going to get your ass whooped every time. You got the obelisk in Washington, which is based upon the obelisk in ancient Egypt, which is actually a male penis or a phallus. Did you know that? Did you know that the symbol of ancient Kemet is the eagle? Did you know that the symbol of America today is the bald eagle? Come on now. Come on. Stop being an idiot. Stop being stupid. You're not talking to no novice here. You're not. You're not talking to a novice. Now, I am getting a little tired, but part of me just want to keep going, man. For real, part of me just want to keep going, just keep proceeding. You know? Just keep proceeding. And I also told the fool that, once again, Harry Rosenberg admitted that Deuteronomy chapter 28 is a prophecy that, talks about the plight and the predicament, You understand? And the pestilence that circulates, the well-being and the welfare, which is not so much, which is not so well of a being. You understand? Of black people, we fit the curses. The scripture says, "Thou should be, you should be sold into Egypt again with ships." The word Egypt is equivalent with slavery. It's equivalent with bondage. It's equivalent with those things. Matter of fact, I mean, hell, for crying out loud, you got a town called Egypt in Texas. You got a town called Egypt in Texas, and it was a slave site. It was a slave farm, just like you had slave farms in ancient Kemet. Come on, y'all. Stop being dumb. You have a town in Ohio called New Egypt. How many times you heard Israelites say this is the New Egypt? Ain't no coincidence. It is not a coincidence. But y'all want to dispute Deuteronomy. Y'all want to dispute Deuteronomy 20:16 because y'all just hate to conceive the truth that black people are the descendants of the 12 tribes of Yasharahla or Israel. And white people, I mean, think about this. If the Most High love everybody, how come that the white race not only has a high mortality rate, but how come that black people are rich in selenium, which is a remedy, and white people are rich in sulfur? You understand? I like what Minister Inky said, man, in the video with him and Polite. He said that white people have pheomelanin, and pheomelanin is totally different than the eumelanin. The color range of a eumelanin is between either black or dark brown to light brown, while the pheomelanin of white people is red. It's translucent or red. And everybody knows that white people cannot stand the sun for too long. WFAA Channel 8 News of Dallas, Texas did a report last year of two white boys no older than 6 years old. They was part of some kind of daycare center, and they was on the playground, and they was exposed to the sun, the ultraviolet radiation of the sun. And I gave all praise to the Most High when those little boys were hurt. You know why? Because think about this: if the Most High don't take these white boys out, they didn't really kill them. He didn't really kill them in the Most High, but he gave them a early stage of what it's going to be like to be white and to be biologically accursed to a point where you don't have eumelanin. And there's a white girl with an accent by the name of Nikki Burnett. There was a small documentary of a white chick named Nikki Burnett. She had used some kind of synthetic melanin medicine called melanotan 2. And it came to a point where when she used melanotan 2, you heard me? She started to get as dark as I am. But there were side effects to that drug. The side effects is, hey, look, she'll become dark. You understand? She become real dark for a white girl. She have a little melanin, but she becomes anorexic because it deprives her of her appetite. Y'all hate niggas so much, but y'all want to be us. Y'all hate niggas so much, but y'all want to be us. It's crazy. The hypocrisy never ceased to amaze me. I'm gonna be back, man. Once again, this is your boy, Masha Allah Alawanawa. You heard me? And once again, I'm looking to start my own platform called BBS, which basically stands for by Yat the broadcast station. And I'm not really part of a camp, but I did establish a group called the Lionheart Apostles of Wisdom. You understand? I established that group since 2014. You can look up the Lionheart Apostles of Wisdom on Facebook if you like. It's not a group page; it's a fan page, pretty much. At least that's what they call it. And once again, I want to give all praise to the Most High, Halayawan Yahweh, and His Son Yashanawa, Yahweh Shai, um, for giving me this knowledge, and which proves another point. Once again, Polite was like in the same video with Inky. They both were dropping some real science, even on subscribe to the shit that they teach. But he was like, the white man's retina is so successful, so recessive that they have a recessive perspective on life. They have a recessive perspective on black people. So they will never be able to articulate clearly because everything encircles them is recessive. They have recessive retina. They have recessive genes. They are recessive with their teachings, and they don't make the best teachers. You know. So um, I'm gonna give a shout out to Brother Ramon Ricks, Brother Rodney Ricks, um, Brother Josh Warren, and give a shout out to the Brother Eli Slill. I want to see what's down to my cousin who's also in the knowledge. I think you spell the name by Benaya or Benaya Yahweh, Benaya Yahweh, something like that. I don't know how you pronounce the name yet. Uh, so many people, man. So many people. Joe Line, Purchase, you dig? Not Nayo, Azuriel. I'm looking forward to working with that brother. Most I said the same. The dude's a genius. The dude got a demonstration of a video game he got out. It's not actually installed like that. It's just posting on YouTube. It's kind of like a Final Fantasy type game, and he's giving me a lot of ideas. So I definitely like to work together on that. You dig? So we could really, make mainstream this movement, make this movement mainstream. You dig, and make this truth very, very common and popular. Common, of course, in a positive connotation. And looking forward to that. You hear me? And for that, once again, I can never give accommodations and acclamations and credit enough to the Most High for my being here. You dig? For this knowledge that I got. You dig? Um, I really can't. It's a humbling experience. And I'm hoping to do more damage towards any form of heresy, man. Like I said, murder, kill Christianity, murder, kill, period. You heard me? And once again, when I say that, I ain't talking about killing. I ain't talking about killing them. I'm talking about academic and scholarly speaking. You heard me? Shout out to my nigga Mac. You heard me? But all seriousness, man, it's time, bro. The stupidity, man, is really, thinning my patience. Even I shouldn't be like that, because Christ says in St. Luke chapter 21, verse 19, that in your patience you possess your souls. So I got cut out on that stuff, you heard me? And even though, like I said, fuck shit and all that stuff's not a curse word, but next time I'm gonna be more considerate because I don't want to scare off those who might come around to the knowledge of the truth. So I gotta be real careful, man. Um, but that's all I want to say, man. That's all I want to say, bro. And make this shit clear. You heard me? Later. Shalom.